Yo, what is up guys, K8 here, and welcome to part 3. So this video is a little bit longer, but if I fast forward or edit anything, it's because it's not important information and I usually do explain what I did. So anyways, be sure to click up here for that little playlist to follow along and really stick with it. I know this video is a bit longer and not as exciting as the parts you probably want to see, but those parts are coming, and so we have to build the track up to that point. So let's get started. Alright, so we are back in Ableton, so let's just listen to what we did in the last video so that we can get some ideas of what to do next. There's still lots to do, so let's listen to this and get some ideas flowing. Okay, so already there I know where I should be doing certain types of things, so I think like right here, let's get rid of these rides and claps for the first 4 bars, or actually let's make some room here. So let's use Command I to give us another 4 bars, and let's just copy all this stuff. So we're gonna make this a much longer part, so let's press Command I again, and let's just copy this over here. So we're gonna make this a bit more interesting. So let's take out the last kick of every 4 bars. We'll take out the last 2 kicks in the last section, so we can kind of set that up a little bit more as a transitional space. And so, you know, like those kind of spaces are really just for like impact snares and percussion and effects and things that you can use to just basically transition. So let's see, let's also add a filter to the kick. So I like to just high pass the low frequencies in a kick for intros, so that way it becomes a little bit more like, whoa, like after a certain while, like when you turn off that filter, like all those low frequencies come in at once, and then it's just a great way to add power to a part. So let's start high passing around 300 to 400 ish. So let's use pencil B now, so just hitting B on the keyboard, we'll turn this on. So in Ableton, the last parameter you touch is basically going to be like your automation lane. So if I want to do something like automation wise to this, I just click on this, and then my lane is here, and then I just hit B, and I can just do whatever the heck I want. So let's undo that because I don't want that. So let's see, that's one thing we can do. Let's start bringing in some things we need. So let's go back into our drum racks. I have a snare rack that I probably want to use, so just like the noise rack in the last video. I also have a drum rack full of snares that I like to use, but for the most part this is different because I keep it more empty because I like to find new snares for the project I'm working in. But there's certain things in here that I like, so let's bring this down to 15 or 18 dB because snares are generally louder. And let's just select let's add a reverse snare, and I think the first one is the one I like. Let's listen to this. Okay, so I like those. It kind of doesn't sound so much like a snare, and it sounds more like a whip of sorts. So I'm thinking let's just start putting some things where we'll need it. And let's see, we probably don't need that there. Okay, so other than that, we probably need something else like some snare rolls or something. So let me go to my Ableton racks. Let's find something like that. I do save a rack here called my generic roll. So basically all this is like an impulse with some reverb, drop in some snare samples, and I have a macro one that's on the transposition and stretch and volume and timing of all this. So as I bring this up, you know, things like volume and time go down, and time and transposition and stretch go up. So it's just really easy for me to save this and not have to build it every time I need a snare roll. So let's go here, let's make a new MIDI clip. Let's just make a quick pattern. Let's make it kind of slow. Okay, so like there's a lot to be perfected there and to make that sound a lot better. But again, like we're just building and collecting our elements. We're not really arranging yet. So now let's kind of focus a little bit more on adding some other synths to this. So some synths actually. So let's go to plugins, massive. We'll use that, sure, why not? And actually that kind of gives me an idea. I was gonna go straight to silent, but because I just saw massive first, I just decided that I could use some kind of like pads, and kind of perfect, like I'm already there in the folder. So I made like these pads I made for a video a few weeks ago or whatever, and these pads are just really like my favorite thing ever. They just utilize the bypass mod in cool ways. Well, maybe not this one, but let's see. Let's find one of the ones that is cool, like this one probably. So let's actually maybe copy down this MIDI and let's just bring it down to a D, since we're in D major. Let's just go up to here and go down an octave. And let's listen to this. Okay, so basically you kind of saw what I did there in Massive. I played around a bit with like making sure my pitch bend goes up to a full octave. I went into the MIDI clip and I did a little bit of pitch bend here, and I made it go back down to the original starting pitch before the clip ended, because sometimes in Ableton, or maybe it depends on the synth, you get this weird glitch where like if the clip ends on a different pitch than it started, then like the pitch bend of the synth could get stuck there and detune your sound, and basically you could just reset it very easily. But like I just always make sure it goes back down and it just becomes a little bit part of like the sound, I guess. Let's duplicate another layer of this, and let's find a layer for that. Okay, so that's cool. Let's add another layer, except this one's going to be different. So I'm going to just group these two together so I know what they are. And I'm going to make this one very different. So let's actually go in here, clear envelope, because I don't want a pitch bend on this one. We're just going to have a long sustaining note for this. And let's go back into those pads. So let's find silent, and you know, sometimes that's why it's cool to start with chords, because you get the idea out faster, and then from there you have to do a lot of fixing. But anywho, let's just go here. Let's go get my bank. Let's go to here, the key C volume 2. Let's find an ARP on page 2. ARP. Oh, that's a good one actually. But I was thinking more along the lines of pizza time. Let's get some pizza, and let's listen to this. So let's duplicate this one more time. So just kind of layering this up even more, and let's just maybe bring this next layer up an octave, so that way we can have something more harmonic to go with. And let's solo and listen to this. I think we have gathered basically now all the elements we need to make the intro, to make the build. There's still a lot to do, but I think once we get those things done, we can start working on like a progression in the drop, and then from there, really we only have to make 3 or 4 parts in the track. We just need to make the intro, the build, a drop, and a release part, and maybe a bridge afterwards. So just something to like fix the gap in between all that, and then from there it's just like a lot of copy paste parts. So thanks guys for watching, and of course, later.